Good evening. It is Tuesday and it is the 18th of August 2020. S&P record day, beat the all-time high today. So disconnected from the real economy. It is absolutely crazy that stock prices hit the record high and the economy trails way behind. U.S. is facing an eviction tsunami at the same time the S&P 500 breaks record highs. People are screaming, we must cancel rent before it's too late. I don't know, Houston's rental aid, I guess they had an aid package for anyone who needed it. It went dry in 90 minutes. Chicago, 80,000 renters applied for 2,000 relief grants. 80,000 people applied. There were only 2,000 available grants. The majority of the United States have resumed evictions. There was a moratorium, but it doesn't last forever. I live in Massachusetts, so there is a moratorium on rent. So we haven't seen evictions hard hit here because the governor has a moratorium on them until the end of the year. But as many as 40 million people nationwide, 40 million, face eviction due to the inability to pay rent. The 2008 financial crisis saw the loss of 10 million homes. Now millions, seniors, people with disability, parents and children, they're all at the risk of homelessness. The majority of them are low income and minorities because of inequities. From New Orleans to Kansas City, Los Angeles, and New York, renters are shutting down eviction courts, blockading evictions, and fighting to extend the eviction moratorium. Cancel rent and mortgage. People want rent and mortgage to be canceled. You can't cancel rent and mortgage. For everybody who owes money, right, there's a landlord who needs to pay his bills. So what about him and his credit? And then when he doesn't pay his bills, then the taxes aren't paid. And, we went through the story yesterday, and then the cities and states, and then the cities and states will eventually have to lay people off and cancel pensions, and it's going to be a disaster. They say that there's, 10.6% unemployment, and we all know that it is much higher than that. Walmart says that they have seen a reduction in spending since the $600 unemployment benefit expired at the end of July. So if, over the past 2 weeks, if Walmart's saying, listen, people aren't buying what they were 2 weeks ago, we know the economy is flailing. But today, what I really wanted to talk about was housing and how the crash is going to come to America, because it's coming. Right now, we all know that the price of houses is skyrocketing, right? And people are building and construction is booming, and people have a lot of faith that new homes are selling faster than they can be built. And that's, an exodus of people leaving the cities and trying to go to the suburbs or trying to go to the country. So prices are rising in the housing market, but Main Street is getting destroyed, right? Retail is just getting killed, and retail will never come back to where it was. Boston, Austin, Portland, Maine, 3 of the greater, the largest cities that rely on commercial real estate revenue. It pays a lot of their taxes. So with retail getting crushed, it's going to be a big problem for those 3 cities and many more, but those are the top 3 that rely on commercial real estate revenue. Anyway, so we're going back to the housing crisis and how the crash is coming and what's going to happen and how far out I think it's going to be, like when it's going to happen and how much is it going to drop. So prices are rising, we know that. Main Street's getting destroyed, but why are houses rising and what makes me think that they're going to fall? Well, there was the CARES Act that was established in April, and that had mortgage forbearance written into it. You know, people ask, should I buy a house now or should I wait? Or, you know, I'm itching, you know, I'm afraid that I'm going to get priced out. The interest rates are really low right now. The prices are only going up. So why shouldn't I buy a house now? And I say don't. Hang on for a little while. Interest rates are low. That's number one. People they don't think of how much money they're borrowing. They think about their monthly payment and how much they can afford to pay. So when they look at buying a home, it's not, oh my God, I'm taking out a loan for $400,000. Oh, it's only going to cost me $2,200 a month, so I can afford that. And that's the way they view it. So if it's within their monthly budget, and if their monthly budget alters or something happens, they can't account for that. There's high demand. All right, so we got low rates, low interest rates, some under. Okay, so there's low inventory. So recently I just read something that it said that millennials overtook baby boomers in population numbers. So there are more millennials now than baby boomers. And baby boomers aren't selling their houses, or at least not yet. And millennials are starting to look at buying homes. A lot of them are getting married, a lot of them are having families, and they want to start settling down and getting into a more secure kind of lifestyle. Those are the three reasons. And when the rates are low, people want to spend. The CARES Act, though, says that there are no foreclosures, all mortgages are in forbearance, and a lot of people were getting that extra $600 on unemployment. 30% of people missed the housing payment. In July, 32% of people missed the housing payment. And in August, 33% of people missed the housing payment. So this is just exasperating every month, right? People are running out of money. They're running out of savings to pay that housing bill. So if it was 30% and then 32, 33, what's it going to be in September? So how big will this real estate correction be? And when will it happen? So housing, so I learned something too, that housing doesn't appreciate. It keeps up with inflation. Housing should increase in price about 3% every year, and increase based on inflation. So it's not necessarily an asset that you buy to make a lot of money. It's an asset that you hold that will keep up with inflation. Right now, we are way higher than that 3% inflationary. We spiked up there in 2008, and then when we had our correction, we came right back down to where it should have been at the 3% level. And again now, the real estate market is 34% higher than the 3% inflationary number, which is absurd. So I believe it probably is going to come down about 34%. And it'll probably take a year, maybe 18 months, because the 360-day forbearance is a whole year that you can, not pay your mortgage and it's postponed. And then you have a 120-day foreclosure process. And then there's like 30 days of administration. And I believe that it's going to start to correct. And also, you also have a lot of landlords that are going to say, you know what, I bought this investment property, I relied on people to pay their rent. They destroyed the house, they didn't pay their rent, it cost me a lot of money, I lost my credit, I'm out of this. And they start selling their rental properties. They're not going to be high-end properties, but a lot of landlords are going to start even before then. And I think that the supply will be a lot higher than it really is. I don't know, it's going to be the largest loss of wealth. Anyway, let me know what you think about the housing market and what you see in your town. I see a lot of growth right now. And if it was me buying a house or my kids looking into buying a house right now, I would ask them to hold off because the correction's coming. All right. Let me know what you see. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Hit the bell notification. And we'll talk again tomorrow.